Welcome to the Unemployment Blog. I'm your host, President B. Kennedy. I don't know if I'd say as much as I'm your host and more like I'm your client. This feels our patient. This feels a lot like therapy sessions for me. Just being able to speak at a camera, vent a little bit, get everything that I need out there. Uh, Not that anyways, we're just gonna get into it. Today I wanted to talk about NaNoWriMo and just some general other subjects. I'm excited for this season coming up. NaNoWriMo, man. Um, and you might hear in the background some noises. My brother's watching Kingsman downstairs, and not much I can do about it. I am traveling over across the country right now, and I record where I can record. Anyways, tomorrow's Halloween. It's super cool, super exciting. But what's even more exciting as a writer, National Novel Writing Month starts the day after tomorrow, the 1st of November. All of November, what writers try and do is they try and write 50,000 words in 1 month, which equates to writing like 1,660 words every single day. Which, I mean, some people can do that easy peasy. Other people, it's a little bit more difficult. I myself, on a amazing day, when I sit down and write for a couple hours, I can crank out about 4,000 words on a great day. But those 4,000 word days happen maybe once a month for me. Um, Most of the time, I'm sitting between. If I'm writing fantasy fiction, sorry about that. If I'm writing fantasy fiction, I'm probably doing about 300, 350 words a day of sitting down, thinking where the story's going, how the characters would react in the situation, and writing believable responses for each character, in that situation or environment that they're in. On a pretty good day, probably about 800, 900 words. So NaNoWriMo for me every year is generally a stretch. I have a lot of fun trying. This year, I'm not even going to say that I'm going to try. I'm going to complete it this year. Uh, Last year, I got to 13,000, and the year before that, I got to 36,000. Um, Lots of things came into the fray last year, but this year, nothing's getting in my way. I'm still going to be traveling around the country, but each day I'm going to sit down, I'm going to get my words. 1,660. Uh, that said, there's certain things we can do to kind of prepare for it a little bit to make sure that, um, when NaNoWriMo hits, that we're able to complete it. One of the biggest tips is to get ahead on the first day. If we can crank out like a 4,000 word day on the first day, and then, every day after that, just keep doing the 1,600, 1,600, we will beat this thing in the pants. A lot of people have different strategies for NaNoWriMo. It is a competition. So at the end of the month, or once you complete your goal, you can submit your 50,000 words, and there's a chance that it will get published. To do the competition, though, I'm pretty sure it has to be a brand new project that you start um, on November 1st, and you finish by November 30th, which I won't be competing. I won't be competing in the competition. I really do like competition, but I have I have about three open big projects I want to finish, and that I've already been starting on. So what I use NaNoWriMo for, and what a lot of other people do, is they might have a project that's been dragging on, and they'll say, "All right, I'm going to devote my 50,000 words of this NaNoWriMo to this project and get it done by the end of this month." So that's going to be the goal for me. I have a big work. Thanks, Donald Trump, just helping me out with these words. Anyways, I have a large project I've been working on for quite some time, a lot longer than I feel comfortable sharing. I write slow, I read slow. I don't know. But anyways, that project is at about 60,000 words, I believe, or it might be sitting at 50,000 words. But it's just past the 2/3 mark, and I really want to finish that. I'm on chapter 16 out of 24 chapters that I have planned. So I'm going to devote the first half of my NaNoWriMo to working through that project and getting to the end of there. And then the second half of my NaNoWriMo, I had a really interesting story idea last year I started on that I didn't get too far into. Um, I might work on that, or I might start cranking out some short stories. Speaking of which, I have a writing blog where I just write short stories, put them online for people to see, just so I can keep getting practice and keep getting better at writing. Link for that's in the description if you want. You can see the type of short stories I write, and I might, if I finish my NaNoWriMo, if I finish the book I'm working on early for NaNoWriMo, I might use the rest of my 50,000 words to just crank out a couple dozen of those short stories. As far as other news is going, Halloween tomorrow. Spook, 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 spook. That's fun. I can't wait for Halloween to get over with so it can be out of the way, because we're in what I call Christmas runway season. Like everything from this path to the end of the track is like leading towards Christmas. November will fly by, especially if you're doing NaNoWriMo. Then December hits, got 25 days, and then the, that's prime Christmas caroling time. It's all the time, all year round. You have to publicly go out and sing Christmas songs where people won't shame you. So you have to take advantage of every single moment. Out of 365 days in the year, you only get those 30. It's crazy. It's like less than a tenth of the year. And Christmas songs are so great. Uh, I mentioned on the second episode of these vlogs that I had some interesting things coming up. I've been working on my Patreon, getting that back together, so I have a visual theme that I like that I'm going with now, and then I've updated some of my reward tiers, and I'm going to get those reward tiers that they're actually interesting and make people want to contribute. One of the things I was doing was I was writing personalized thank you letters from fictional characters to Patreon, our patrons that subscribed or that signed up to donate. I still have that tier. I was just making these letters really, 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 really nice, and I figured it wasn't worth the time as a $1 reward, and I moved it up to a $10 reward. That said, I did set up some Discord things for personalized chatting sessions, and some other options of Patreon tiers that we're going to have. I'm going to do a higher tier of a $40 loot box. I make a lot of I collect a lot of trading cards. I collect a lot of comic books, and I really don't need as many as I collect. So I'm definitely going to give those away in a loot box. But I also create trading cards. I have a huge stack of trading cards that I make from scratch. I make a lot of maps, and I put them on vinyl, and I have them as posters that you can stick on walls. And I was thinking about all the different tangible content I have, and figured it'd be very nice to just get a box of stuff that you don't know what it's going to be, and you can open it up each month and see some great things in it. So once again, just more cool things on the horizon. We're touching the 10-minute mark now, so I'm going to go ahead and try and end this. I appreciate you coming back and watching. Final little thing I will say, I did write a couple scripts for some of those more story focused YouTube videos. I was talking about, so those might be coming out later this week, or I might get bogged down by NaNoWriMo and spend the days crying. Anyways, thanks for watching. Show you care and share it if you enjoyed, or if this video helps you in any, and it more so is to help me, so probably didn't. There's a subscribe button. I don't know. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.